Namaste. Welcome to day 23 of our 30 days of yoga challenge. So we're moving through the chakras this week. Yesterday was our root chakra focus. Today we are moving up to our second chakra, which is the sacral chakra or the Svadhisthana. So this would be the next one up on this kind of visual portrayal of the chakras. So this chakra is about an inch or so below the belly button. When we're thinking about connecting with the sacral chakra in our yoga practice, we're thinking about movement around the low abdomen and through the hips. This is relates to relationships, any types of relationships, how we relate to other people, emotions, sensuality and creativity as well. So if you feel a block in creativity, for instance, or a particular relationship feels a bit stuck, isn't moving, or these kind of things, or you feel blocked emotionally, the sacral chakra is the part of the energy center that you want to be focusing on. So this is how we can kind of use the chakras to kind of get things flowing again in our lives. So did I say the colour orange? It is, yes, I think I did, the colour orange. So we're going to come down to laying. Look at a couple of postures first of all, laying down. Sorry, let's move out of the way. Single leg raises first of all. So this is to kind of stimulate movement around the low abdomen, and obviously we're working with the hip joint. So just if we take the right leg up first of all, so we're going to connect with the breath. So we're breathing in, floating the right leg up, exhaling, floating the leg down. Breathing in, left leg floats up, breathing out, the leg floats down. And again, so we'll do this 2 more times each side. Breathing in, the leg floats up, so you can feel that we're working with a low abdomen and obviously moving around the hip joint. Breathing in, leg floats up, floats down on the out breath. And then this time we're going to breathe the leg up. We're going to hold around the back of the leg, so maybe the thigh, maybe around the calf, so whichever is more accessible. Focusing on that hamstring stretch. Take a deep breath in. And then as you breathe out, again, the possibility to go a little deeper into the stretch. Just because you're adding a little bit of weight here. If that hurts the neck or is not comfortable for any reason, just stay laying down and then focus on just going a little bit deeper. Okay, so hips and hamstrings here, releasing that leg. Other leg comes up, so breathing the other leg up, holding around the back of the thigh or around the calf. Same again, taking a nice deep breath in. With the exhalation, either just encouraging the leg a little bit deeper, or sometimes, not always, it might help to, because you've got that extra weight, to go a little bit deeper into the stretch. Okay, breathing and then releasing, and let that leg float down. And then we're going to look at the possibility of double leg raises. If for any reason it's not accessible, just continue with the single leg raises. You can have the hands by the side, and then you're kind of nice and strong here, bringing the legs up. If that pulls on the low back, so I'm going to give you a kind of an alternative. All you do is pop the hands underneath, kind of low back, sacral kind of area. And then that just helps, it does help a little bit kinder on the low back as well, to bring those legs up with the inhalation and then down with the exhalation. If you're feeling super strong, just let the heels kind of hover when you come back up. Okay, but do be mindful of the low back. So your choice how you want to do this. Let's just do this one more time. Definitely that's working here. Again, breathing in, you do need to kind of press down through the low back just to keep it safe. Exhale, floating those legs back down, hopefully with control. Breathing those knees in, not always possible, but just do what you can. Hug the knees, a little bit of a rock, just to release the low back muscles, or your alternative, a little bit of kind of knee circle. And then we're just gonna breathe the knees in, so knees to chest breathing in, press the feet or the heels away. Exhale, extending through those heels, nice and strong through the back of the legs. Breathing in, you're pressing into the abdomen. Exhale, pressing away. One last time, breathing in. Exhale. Just take a moment here, really strong, nice and straight, really press through the heels, draw the toes towards you. And then we'll bring those knees into the chest. Again, if you need to release the low back muscles, a little bit of a rock because you're just pressing, releasing into the mat. Crossing at the ankles or rolling up by your side. Remember, that's always an option. And then we're going to come over onto all fours. And we're actually just going to tuck the toes and lift ourselves up into downward facing dog. So we're going to lift up through the bottom and the hips. Take a couple of breaths here. Take the knees back down. So let's breathe in, take the gaze forward, release the low back. With the exhalation, lift up through the hips, draw back into downward facing dog. Ardha Mukha Svanasana. One more time, knees down. Take the gaze forward, release the low back. Exhale, lifting up through the bottom and the hips. Okay, and we'll just take a couple of breaths here. So from downward facing dog, you're going to take the right leg out behind. You're going to draw the heel towards the bottom. You're pressing down a little through the heel of the standing leg. And then we're going to do a few hip circles. So you're going to just draw that knee in. And you're going to do kind of, it's difficult to see obviously what you're doing, but it's the feel going around that hip joint. Okay, so take a big circle if you can. One more go. Nice big hip circle. Extend that leg, close the hip, and then take the foot down. You're going to take that other leg out, bend the heel towards the bottom, open the other hip, so open to the other side, pushing the mat away from you, pressing down through the heel of the standing leg. And then we're going to take, I know you can't really see, but you're just doing exactly the same to the other side, taking these 3 big, juicy hip circles. Okay, pressing away, knee comes in, draws out, and then you're going to press or extend the leg. Then we're going to close the hip. I'm going to bring that foot down, so nice and neutral. Walk the hands back to the feet. Turn the toes out and come down through a squat. Okay, so exactly as I mentioned yesterday, Malasana, so the pose that we're in, we included this in our root chakra sequence, but it's also a sacral chakra pose. Okay, we're going to come up to standing, so just kind of press yourself up to standing, and we're going to come to goddess pose, Utkarta Kanasana. So let's take the feet wide, or the stance is wide, the feet are turned out. I'm going to add in, because I know that my students enjoy this, we're going to come down into goddess pose and into Simhasana. So Simhasana is lion pose. So we're going to draw the arms up, fingers nice and wide, so nice wide spread, and then okay, so lion pose is kind of wide fingers, wide eyes, gaze is up, tongue is down, like this. Okay, we'll do it one more time together, breathing the arms up. Okay, good. And one more time. Okay, so we'll just bring the hands to prayer at the heart center. It's not officially part of goddess pose, but it's kind of become incorporated when we do this particular posture. So knees are tracking over toes. You should feel, obviously you can see why we're including this as a sacral chakra posture, nice and wide around the hips. You can still apply Mula Bandha, which you looked at yesterday, the root lock, so you're just drawing up, keeping the energy into the body. If we take, let's take the hands We work this way, yes. The hands onto the thighs. Do be mindful of the knees, so no pressure into the knees. Come up a little bit if it's too much. And we're just going to press down. So you're going to press the left shoulder down. So you've got a little bit of a twist. Breathe. So keep the breath flowing. Come back to center. Maybe go a little deeper or maybe come higher. Press to the other side. Beautiful twist. Nice stretch. Okay, come back to center, bring our hands to prayer and up. You should feel that in the legs. Let's bring heel toe the feet in, and we're going to come down through a toe squat. Just give give a little rest, so you can have your hands to prayer or out in front. So onto the toes, nice and slow with control, lowering down. Okay, good. So we're going to come into Mandukasana. So we'll come down onto sitting onto our heels for the moment. Okay, and then from here, so the toes are together. I'm going to give you different options. You're going to take the knees as wide as is comfortable. Okay, my toes are still touching at the moment. I'm going to take my hands just to rest onto the floor or onto the mat. So you should feel a pretty good stretch across the inner leg lines here. Okay, if from here you can either stay on your hands, there's so many different options, that's why I'm hesitating. You can come onto your forearms, or I think you can just about still see me, you can rest all the way down. Okay, so this is one possibility. An alternative is to take the toes apart. Okay, I think this feels a little bit stronger, so not beyond, so ankles will only go directly behind the knees at most. Okay, and it's for you to play with the position that feels good in your body. You don't want to overstretch. This is a nice preparation for side split, so you can, I'm sure you can feel. So we're yeah, it's quite an intense stretch. So you might stay here and just kind of sit into it. You might find you want to bring yourself forwards and go a little deeper, or you might kind of stay here and then from here with the toes apart, feet apart, come a little deeper into your toes. So find your option. Okay, it's good to have lots of possibilities because then you find what fits right in your body. So you should be able to relax into it. So wherever you are, whether your toes are together, apart, you're sitting back, sitting forward, wherever you are, you're not overstretching. You can hold the pose and you can breathe into it. This is a beautiful sacral chakra opening pose. The feeling is that there's a lot, or we hold a lot of emotional tension in our hips. So we did touch on this when we were looking at, I think it was the first week and we were looking at the hips. There's so many different ways of moving around the hip joint, and there's lots of different possibilities for postures to get into this particular part of the body. But the idea is that we hold a lot of tension, we hold a lot of emotions here, so physical tension, emotional tension. The body's kind of picking up on that emotional and mental tension. So we are using our yoga postures, our breathing, drawing everything together to help the energy to flow. We get blockages in our chakras and our energy centers, and that's what makes us feel stuck. So when you become, when you understand the chakras a little bit more, and through your yoga practice you understand your body a little bit more, you kind of can really connect with what you need within your practice to help yourself. Okay, so we've been here a little while. Oh, it's such a good one. Okay, but it's really important not to overstretch because it's quite intense. Okay. I just know I have to move very slowly out of this. So you're going to come onto your hands. Okay. You want to feel like you've really stretched, but you just need to move very, very slowly. Okay, let's bring the knees in. Oh, that should feel good now. You'll be really aware that you worked on frog pose, Mandukasana today. Let's give those knees a little bit of a hug. but it kind of just reveals how much kind of holding there is there. Okay, and then we'll just let's just come to a seated twist. So one leg in front, just kind of note which leg is, or which foot is in front, which leg is in front. Just a gentle seated twist. So we'll just take one hand, opposite knee, one hand behind, just nice and tall. Breathing in, lifting through the chest. Exhale, turning to the back shoulder. Let the knees, the hips relax. Coming slowly back to center, so just a little bit of kind of balance, equal sides. Change the cross of the legs. Opposite hand, one hand or across, one hand behind. Lift up through the chest. Gaze over the back or towards the back shoulder. Breathe. Okay, it should feel nice. And then coming back to center. So you've done very well. Really, there's so many postures I could have included. I just wanted a quick look, and for you as we move through the chakras to understand the feeling. So yesterday with the root chakra, today with the sacral chakra. Understand the different feeling of working with the different poses, and I think you'll become, as we move through over this week, I think you'll get a sense of the different physical feeling and different emotions that you're releasing as you work through the energy centers. So thank you very much once again for joining me. I hope you have a lovely rest of the day, rest of the evening, whenever you're practicing, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Namaste. Thank you.